Hello, BookTube. Well, as I've been saying at the beginning of every video today is the 1st of June. Today kicks off the summer. June, July, and August. And June the 1st also kicks off a large number of BookTube events that I've been looking forward to. Now, I want to talk about 4 of them today. 2 of them take place only in June. 2 of them go all summer long, and they kick off today. So one of the ones that I want to talk about in this video is Summer of Sport, which is a brand new BookTube event. That was created by Mark at Book Time with Elvis, and it goes all summer long. And it deals with sport in literature, fiction and nonfiction, which is a vast body of reading that is, I think Mark is correct, that it's largely underrepresented on BookTube. A lot of good writing has been born, fiction and nonfiction. A lot of good writing has been born from sports. And I wanted to do just a reminder announcement video. I'm going to be adding sports literature to my reading diet all summer long. But if you read only one sports-related book all summer, you have participated in Summer of Sport, and I want to hear about it. I definitely want to hear about it. That's basically what this video is. Mainly, it's just me poking my nose into your reading business. I want to know, is sport reading of any kind, fiction or nonfiction, any part of your reading now? Is it a regular part? Is it a large part? Of course, when it comes to Summer of Sport goes all summer long. June, July, and August, we're going to be reading and I hope talking about sport books. Some of the summer-long events I will be overindulging. I do not know enough about sports literature to overindulge. I don't have enough of it either to overindulge. I'll still be making regular videos. I'm thinking probably a couple of videos a week all summer long, but not a video a day. But when it comes to the subject of sports, of course, the elephant in the room is that we're dealing with a split field. On the one hand, the whole rest of the world, and on the other hand, the United States of America, my own country, the United States of America. All the rest, when it comes to sports, just as when it comes to literature and fashion and even war making, all the rest of the world either wants to be like America, or hates America, or worst of all, wants to just be left alone. So no, that's not a thing. That's not doable. So the whole world loves cricket. The whole world especially loves what you call football and we call soccer. The closest I think that the world has to a universal language is soccer. And then on the other side of the equation, equally balanced on the scales because we have all the nukes, I guess, or all the money, is America. And we have a bevy of sports of our own. We do our best to export them elsewhere in the world, but since they're mostly based on cheating, steroids, and violence, they don't tend to transplant well elsewhere in the world. For instance, the American version of football, which is not only a massive pastime, a huge industry here in the United States, but also in large parts of the country, the American Midwest, the Upper Midwest, a religion. Something far, far more than a cultural phenomenon. And its players tend to be completely insulated from the real world and involved in feudal arrangements of their own in which staggering amounts of money change hands. Staggering. So that you get to the point where at the pinnacle, for instance, of the Tom Brady years of the New England Patriots, Tom Brady was the quarterback of a team called the New England Patriots, a football team, an American football team called the New England Patriots. At the height of the Tom Brady era of the New England Patriots, he could not only demand personal possessions from any of his teammates. Hey, you've got that a barbecue set. I want it. Give it to me. And they have to do it. He can also demand access to their wives, and they couldn't say anything about it. That kind of power exists in the gigantic combine that is American football. But there's also basketball, which I have never known. I have been all over the world. I've never known any country to be anything but lightly feigning interest in basketball. They don't seem to get it at all. It can be very thrilling if you're there courtside. And probably quintessentially, there's baseball. The quintessential American sport. Baseball. Which has, as far as I've been told, thriving leagues in other countries, especially Japan. But here in America, it has not only a quasi-religious significance, but a mythic significance. And some of the greatest American writing, fiction and nonfiction, that's ever been done anywhere on any subject has been connected with baseball. I don't quite know what explains that, unless it's maybe, actually, apropos of today being June the 1st, maybe it could be baseball's wonderful associations, lifelong genetic level associations with summer. with summer, with play, with evenings that go on forever, and are the perfect capstone to a hot day. In the evening, the air starts to break, the heat starts to limit, and there in the twilight, you've got a game. In the playground at the outskirts of town, it's often associated with children. On our walk just this afternoon, Saturday afternoon walk, the Bean and I passed a couple of neighborhood baseball games with crowds of adults, crowds of parents, the kids having a blast, the sound of the ball hitting the bat, the sound of the cheering and the chattering, the coolers along the sidelines, the informal games, and also you go to Boston Common or anywhere else, you'll find far more formal games, but they're still not leagues. Then you have private leagues, and so on and so forth, but all associated with summer. You don't play baseball in the winter. I think that has a lot to do probably with the mythic valence of baseball in this country. But all of that I'm talking about is American. It's just like you've got these scales, and on the one hand is the rest of the world, and on the other hand is America, and that's doubtless going to be reflected in my summer of sport reading for this event, which goes on all summer long. I will try. I recently, for instance, just found a paperback of The Ball Is Round, a terrific book about soccer that I loved when I first read it. I will definitely reread that. But most of my picks will probably be American. I think they will be. And I want to know in this introductory video, before I start talking about individual books, I want to know whether or not that's true for you. A lot of you who watch this channel are not from America. Are you interested in American sports? And you Americans, are you interested in non-American sports? Are you going to be reading anything about, for summer sport, are you going to be reading anything about cricket, for instance, or rugby? And what about the sports that are more rarefied? Dressage, for instance, or single hull sailing. Things like that. I'm going to be looking for books on stuff like that. I'm going to be enjoying them if I can find good ones. So, again, as is the theme with all of these videos that I'm making today, tell me what your plans are. Before I start hunkering down to individual books, I would love to know, are you going to be participating in Summer of Sport? And if so, what are you thinking about reading? Mostly fiction? Mostly nonfiction? I would love to hear it. So tell me all. I will wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.